I hate college consultants, man. I'm serious. I hate them because they're such freaking liars. They keep telling students they want a unique essay that isn't cliche, but they don't. Want to know how I know this? Because every time I ever heard somebody say, be unique, it was always a freaking trap. It always was. When people say be unique, they don't mean what they say. When they say that, they mean like acceptable unique, like front entrance of Anime Expo where the people are still kind of socially acceptable. Like they don't mean the back end where the smell just crawls up your nose and the body odor invades your lungs and your pupils just betray you with the most degenerative stuffs and things that no amount of water could cleanse from your retinas. They're like way too into Gundam and mechas, just like salivating. Like that's the thing. They reveal too much of their power level, man. And like the college consultants that I've seen, they're just not prepared for that. It actually drives me freaking mad, dude. Like I don't even. It's just. It's like when they go like, we don't like it when college essays are cliche. We don't want to see that. Like really, you of all people don't like cliches. You and your recommendations for nonprofits and fake research and fake club titles that definitely no one has ever made. You know what the worst one is? Yes, girl, we love to see personal growth. Oh, you not like that. I heard this one where there was this consultant who was doing this college essay topic tier list, right? And she put hardships and growth mindset in like S tier and sob stories or anything about death at an F tier. She was like, yeah, death and sob stories can contain growth, but ain't nobody want to be reading that. We want to see like acceptable sadness and growth, not that Tokyo Ghoul, I am tragedy, my healer healed someone else other than me shit. Human mind can only handle so much. Dude, college consultants are like those psych majors who don't want to do the scary shit, right? Like, I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, all right? But like, anybody who majored in psych would know what the hell I'm talking about, okay? Like, it reminds me of those people where they're taking psych because they want to work and they just want to help the sorta depressed and sorta anxious people, right? They don't want to fuck with that like cluster B shit, that like estranged Karen mother, gamer head dent speaking to the walls, losing their shit. I absolutely can't fix her personality. For the record, writing about death, totally fine, dude. Just got to do it right. Might actually make a separate topic on that, but you know, uh, actually, tier list for a college essay topic sounds pretty cool. So if you guys are interested, feel free to let me know. But look, here's the thing, okay? Uh, this is the core pain point of this issue, as far as I can tell. Every college consultant hates cliches and wants uniqueness, but what they can't recognize is that they can't handle truly unique students. That's why every college essay, after like a gajillion edits, turns out cliche. They try to be unique, and their consultant just can't wrap their college maxing brain around the idea that students can be weird and funny sometimes just beyond being a researcher or a startup bro. They look at that and they're like, oh, what the fuck? So just kind of like sit there, like not knowing what to do. And they're like, yeah, man, it's kind of cringe. I'm sorry. You're going to have to choose a more normal topic. And then they settle for a generic topic, only for it to be called cliche again. And then the cycle repeats. I even drew a diagram. There you go. I'm willing to fight people on this, all right? Like, I'm on my debate bro arc. Talking blood sport. Let's go, baby. Look, here's just one piece of advice, okay? To anybody who's struggling or thinking their college essay topic is just too cliche, okay? Recognize that this is just going to be an infinite editing loop. You're going to edit because you feel like your topic is too generic and cliche. So you try to be unique and special. But when you do that, you're going to start thinking that you sound cringe. You're going to be like, oh my God, everyone's going to think I'm such a loser or weirdo or that one person with this hobby and they're not going to know what it even is. So I'm going to normalize and sterilize it. Oh shit, now it's going to be too generic and cliche again. Rinse and repeat. The only escape from this infinite loop is to actually accept that there's going to be some amount of justifiable cringe or cliche. It's just going to fall through the cracks, okay? You can't have it be like 100% perfectly unique and be impervious to feeling exposed, cringe, or whatever. That just comes from you. That comes from your heart. So that's just the nature of opening up and being your own unique self. That self-criticism is just going to come roaring back from the inside, okay? You know, there's like this exercise I actually did with my students, right? I had them imagine cliche and unique, not as a single monolithic diagnosis, but like as a scale or like a range that you can move from. Specifically, most of them would just start with cliche topics because, you know, like um, most students had similar experiences and projects, especially if you're talking like Bay Area students, stable community, safe ecosystem, hyper competitive academics, right? Um, so like, yeah, I would just have these students like settle for, semi generic topics because they lived in like that little bubble. As long as it actually meant something important to them, which I know it's going to sound a little weird, right? It's like, why would you recommend they do that? But take a look at this, right? Like, let's just take like sports injury as an example. Okay, starts off as a regular topic, right? A lot of people have heard it before, but then I have them get more specific with their experiences. They need to zoom in to the details that might deviate from what others have felt. In fact, the more conflicting and confusing the emotions, the better. So sometimes the most significant points are going to be about the ones that you don't fully grasp, right? The ones that you don't fully grasp how you're supposed to feel because you have a mix of emotions that they might actually clash with one another. For instance, let's say you had a cruel coach, okay, like a really mean coach, and you had a harsh ecosystem that was brutalizing, and you had a coach who was just borderline, like low key, kind of verbally abusive, right, to the students. And every time you walked in for practice, you just had that like sinking feeling in your gut. I'm talking like whiplash movie style, right? And so when you finally get like that injury and you just get this like weird catharsis, right? You're like, oh my God, I'm finally free. Holy shit, I can actually begin living my life. But you're also conflicted because maybe water polo or tennis or, whatever the sport is like something that's like your entire life, right? It's like your identity. So you're having to juggle that like feeling of freedom, but also the identity crisis that comes with that. This would be like a really real example that's also unique to your own situation. It's also something a good number of people in hyper competitive spaces could relate to and empathize with. And it's also a great opportunity to show your maturity and personal growth in situations that aren't always black and white, which would have a much more genuine and realistic feeling to it. Not gonna lie, you can even use this topic to like hook your readers with a bold proposition, right? So, for example, learn when to quit with grace and pivot because that's going to be harder than learning to keep going as an example, right? It's like harder than the cliche that everyone's taught that you just got to keep going. You got to keep going on that grind set, right? That's a good one for some of you digital marketing and startup guys, right? But yeah, no, you could do so much. This is just like the beginning, right? Like I'm not even digging too deep into that, right? That's just like we're talking like Earth's crust level, right? You could do so much more just by zeroing in on the details and analyzing on a deeper level, right? So this is where that whole scale and range thing comes into play. It becomes more special and unique to one's experiences the more specific it gets. So the more the student deconstructs the important themes and ideas behind their individual experiences, the more it becomes their own unique experience. It becomes less generic because it's less of a vague archetype and more of a specific individual experience, complete with hyper specific details and emotions that are unique to you, right? Okay, literally, I forgot to do that like self promotion thing that I always do in every video. So it's like there's like no other good place to put it, man. Okay, so like, before I end this video, I bagpipe the one stop shop for college app slop. Hope this advice has helped you or at least made you feel a little less alone in this college essay cliche situation. I hope it gives you a little hope. I know it has for my students, especially those I helped get accepted into schools such as, but not limited to, Cornell, Penn, Wharton, Dartmouth, U Chicago, Econ, USC, Harvard, MIT, Stanford, and UC Berkeley. If you guys want college consulting services, essay help, career advising, etc., feel free to reach out via email in the description box below. If not, I'll use my heel on someone else. Okay, thanks so much, guys. Take care, everyone. You anime convention attending, fake research conducting, gamer head dent having, ick feeling, algorithm boosting, syrup slurping goobers.